I haven't always had the best impression of the Inland Empire. It struck me as this endless expanse of suburbs and freeway interchanges, office parks and warehouses and scrublands, all mashed together in this sort of non-place between LA and the desert playgrounds of Palm Springs and Joshua Tree. But the fact is, it's one of the fastest growing regions in the country, and people of color are increasingly calling it home. They didn't just come for the affordable housing and the cheaper rents. They came for something that you almost can't measure, a sense of peace, an escape from the chaos and the frenzy of the cities. And they came to make their American dream in a place that hasn't been known as particularly welcoming to people of color.
It was just this wide, expansive area that was just out there. And most likely it was probably mostly white. And that's what I was thinking growing up. And then the more that I would kind of come and visit the area, the more I said, you know what, it's really beautiful out here. I would call him and say, I'm on my way back from, seeing this one house, and it's like so country out here. You'd never believe it. He was like, country? Are you sure that's what we country? And I'm like, no, but in a good way. Like, it's just slower. It's slower. And the other thing I'm going to be frank about is I saw a lot of people of color here.
I'm here at the new Cheech Marin Center for Chicano Art, and this museum in the heart of Riverside really blows me away because with this story about the Inland Empire, I'm looking to find the soul of this region. It's vast. There's 4.5 million people who live in this region, but how do you make it feel like home? How do you identify with this part of Southern California? And when you walk into this space, you feel the presence of this state's Latino community.
I study literature, so I'm actually a professor at Crafton Hills Community College, and I always saw myself as a writer. But when the pandemic hit, I was trying to explain what I was feeling and I couldn't. So I started painting and drawing and connecting in that sense. I felt how we can write our history, write the things that we can't express through language, through artwork. It reminds me a lot of Mexico, and of the mountains, of the landscapes, but there's this shift of even the natural with the modern, or the indigenous with the modern. And I see this blend here and the blend in the city, right? And as cities become more and more developed, you do get this more modernized take.
As an African American who's on this sort of search for America, I love being able to build a bridge through art and understand how other people of color come to make this place feel like home.
Well, I work with University Center that does research on the landscape of a region. And what they found is that it's been so difficult to change that narrative about the IE. Even though it hasn't, that white conservative stereotype probably hasn't been the truth for a couple of decades now. So it's 70% BIPOC. Southeast Asians are the second largest, behind Hispanic people, second largest ethnic group in this region. People, who knows that? When you think of the IE, you don't think that.
When I moved out here, everybody was still driving to LA, to Orange County and San Diego to work. So there was no quality of life because you're leaving at 6 in the morning and you're coming home at 7 at night and your family is here. So we always would say you can live and play. And I said, no, we need to say you can live, work, and play. And now I make it another further. You can live, work, play, and be educated in the Inland Empire.
The mayor of the city of Fontana, Aquanetta Warren, has taken especially harsh criticism for her own efforts to bring businesses, including warehouses and manufacturers. Activists say that the spread of distribution warehouses for Amazon and other companies has contributed to air pollution and that workers are often exploited.
So we did commission a study with Rambo. And it came back, we're surrounded by freeways. You got the 10, you got the 15, you got the 60, you got the 250, you got the 210. It might be a lot of cars and trucks on those freeways, and that's exactly what that study showed. Warehousing is not warehousing like we thought about the 30s and 40s, where like practically slave labor. Some places might be doing that, and if they are, shame on them, and you need to report them. Now they'll tell you, oh, they're just forklift jobs, they don't hardly make any money, there's not enough to sustain them. That's not true. If you have experience, you can make it anywhere.
Out here among the brand new planned communities, the old school horse ranches, the orange groves, and the wild burros grazing by the sides of the roads, people have found something else that money can't buy. An opportunity to just be. Breathing room. A chance to feel safe and secure in their own skin. That doesn't come easily for people of color in this country. It doesn't come easily for people of color in Southern California. And yet somehow, the Inland Empire has given it to them.